In this video, we will be finding the area of a rhombus. So we can see here, find the area of the rhombus below. You will notice that we're not given a lot of information. There's only the 14 on this part of the diagonal, and there's 50 on this side of the rhombus. We are going to use our knowledge of the properties of a rhombus and of a right triangle to solve this. So the first thing, a rhombus has four congruent sides all around. The next property of a rhombus we will use is that the diagonals of a rhombus here and here are the perpendicular bisectors of one another. So we have right angles all around here, and these diagonals bisect each other. So this will be congruent to this, and this will be congruent to this. From here, we look at this section and we notice that it is a right triangle. Now, often in a geometry problem in a class that you'll be in, they will give you Pythagorean triples. Not always, but it's always best to look for them right away. Now, looking at these, you'll notice that neither of these sides is part of a Pythagorean triple that jumps to mind. However, if we divide 14 by 2, we get 7. And if we divide 50 by 2, we get 25. And that does fit into a Pythagorean triple, which is 7, 24, 25. So then we will put the 24 in parentheses down here. 7, 24, 25. And since 7 times 2 is 14 and 25 times 2 is 50, 24 times 2 is 48. And that is the length of this side right here. In case you don't remember your Pythagorean triples, there will be a link at the end of the video to another video that goes over them much more in depth. Now from here, since this is 48, this is 48. Since this is 14, that is 14 from the properties of a rhombus. Now we are going to calculate the area of the rhombus two ways. One is the formula you should know, and the other way is in case you forget it on a test. So the area of a rhombus is 1/2 times d1 times d2, which is the diagonals. So that is going to be 1/2 times 28 times 96. 28 being the length of this diagonal here, and 96 being the length of that diagonal there, 14 times 2, and 48 times 2. And that gives us 1,344. Now, this is the easiest way of doing it, but as everyone knows, when you're in a test, you get nervous, you forget things, it's hard to remember. So let's do it a different way if you've forgotten how to do it. Let's take this triangle over here, just this triangle. We'll call that area AT. And as you should remember, AT will be 1/2 times base times height, which will be 1/2 times 48 times 14. The base of this triangle is 48 and the height is 14 because this is a right triangle. And that gives us 336. And then you will remember that this has an area of AT, and this has an area of AT, and this has an area of AT also, because they are all congruent triangles. SSS, SAS, HL, take your pick. So then 336 times 4 is 1,344, which is the same as we got up here. You'll notice that in this problem, you were just told it's a rhombus and nothing else. The worst thing you could do is just sit here and stare at it and hope it jumps out at you. The best thing you can do is start putting marks on the diagram. On a harder problem like this, you will not be able to go from staring at a blank canvas here to finding the area there, especially when your brain is stressed because you're in an exam. But start from scratch, put the markings on the diagram, use what you know, build it up, and that's how you will solve it. As always, do this several times, conquer it, and then you can move on.